Right, guys, we're back and it's day 3. Hopefully everyone's hanging in there, staying consistent, eating what you should be eating and not what you shouldn't be eating when you should be eating it. Which brings us to our next tip of the day: when you should be eating it and how much you should be eating of it. Portion control, right? Portion control, portion control. We touched on the importance of that a little bit in day 1 and how it allows us to resist the crave that we know is going to come, right? It gives us that option to be able to choose a healthier snack when we begin to crave, because instead of grabbing, all kinds of junk, we can just grab that portion that we set out to be able to eat before our next meal, which we all like to call a snack, right? And when we're, it's so common. It's like, it's just English, right? It's just second language to us. Snack, appetite, hunger, cravings. But if you really would go into the definition of these words, then you will see more clearly how it really is kind of not affecting you, and how easy it is for you to pretty much, change that, because it's nothing that is stuck in stone, right? We went over appetite. That's basically a want that we have. We've been over cravings. That's basically our brain having been wired that it's found pleasure in these high sugary and high carbon unhealthy foods, that we now begin to crave them, right? We know hunger is not anything that's going to kill us. Well, it can kill us, but we know that essentially we're not hungry after 3, 4, even 7, 8 hours of eating. We're only hungry, in a state of hunger, at least at the 48-hour mark of having not eaten foods, right? So knowing the definition of these words is very important in how we can apply it, to our lives, and not look at it as something that's so set in stone and we can't change, because we can change it. And that's what we want to do over the course of this week. We want to change those things that we've told ourselves that we can't change, or that we just, don't want to change. So going back into snacking, right? What is a snack? The definition, its pure definition, is any small amount. We'll go into what small is for you snack-wise. Any small amount of food eaten between meals. So whatever you eat in between your meals, that's snacking, right? Some of us are snacking all day. We eat breakfast, we're snacking all the way up until lunch. We eat lunch and then we're snacking all the way up until dinner. All right, we want to limit that amount of snacking that we do, and we can also do that by eating foods. We talk about it, low glycemic index foods. We touched on that, right? We want to eat foods that are slowly pushing their sugars into our blood, because what happens if we're eating food that's high on the glycemic index and our blood sugar is skyrocketing, right? We don't want that either. So we want to eat in portions, and we want to eat small amounts when we're talking about snacks, right? And there's no definitive, again, snack is just food eaten in between meals. So now we have to get into choosing our snacks. Right now, this week, we're choosing the portions that we've set aside. But even after this week, and you find yourself, still wanting to stay on board with the program, choose healthy snacks. Fruits, nuts, granola bars, rice cakes. There's so many other options out there for, snacking. And again, we have to be mindful of serving sizes. Some of our snacks will be contained in, bags, which the whole bag is not a serving size. You can see on the back panel of it, I don't have an example here, but on the back panel you'll see serving size, and it'll say, 4 cookies, 3 cookies. That's how many cookies you should be eating in one setting, in one serving, not 10, 12, 20 cookies, right? So you want to be mindful of the serving size, and that we are adhering to the proper serving size that, we should be eating, right? Again, so serving size, portioning our food out, and being mindful of the time in which we consume food in between meals, and that we're not just eating for the whole duration in between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So that's the easy part. It's easy to, okay, let me portion my food out. 4 chips here, 4 cookies there. We're not eating any of that, but you get the drift, right? So piece here, piece there. That's easy. Boom. It's ready to go, right? I got my portions. The hard part is making them stretch, right? How many times have we gotten to work, we had our lunch with us, but by the time lunch comes around, guess what? We don't have anymore. Our lunch. So now what do we have to do? We have to go to the McDonald's, the Burger King, the nearest fast food taco joint, fried chicken, whatever it is that you like to indulge in, around the workplace. That's typically going to be fast food. I mean, a lot of companies are becoming more health conscious. So you have a lot of your salad places, and also some stores that do cater to organic choices. And if you do have those options around you, I'd encourage you to shop from those. It could get a little pricey, and that's why it's important to be prepared, right? Being prepared can also help you cut back on price, time as well, right? So portion control, right? The time in which we consume those portions. Now, a considerable portion is the palm of my hand. Everybody's palm of their hand is going to be a different size. So whatever fits in the palm of your hand is your portion size, right? Our body calls for different amounts of food, different amount of calories, heavier, bigger, whatever the case may be, but that's a whole nother subject. But generally, a portion is going to be able to fit in the palm of your hand. Now, it's not going to extend out onto the fingers. It's not going to be hanging over to the thumb area. It's going to sit in the palm, right, of your hand. So if it can fit in the palm of your hand, you're good on portioning, right? So as you go through and as you continue to portion out your meals, pay attention to if your portion is a true portion. All right, guys, I'll see you back here on day 4. Keep pressing forward. Keep going. Again, we want to be very, very strict. We want to be whipping ourselves for the rest of this week, right? We want you to see results. You are guaranteed to have lost at least 1 to 2 pounds if you've been following the meal plans, following the portion control, eating nothing, like absolutely nothing outside of that. And also if you've been getting in your 10 minutes of exercise a day. I know some of you are not going to be exercising. That's just what it is. But I encourage you to at least attempt to try the exercise. If you can't complete it, no big deal. As time progresses, you'll be able to do more. All right, guys, I'll see you back here on day 4.